You know, for almost 2 decades, Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban have felt like the solid couple in Hollywood, the ones you could count on. But lately, the headlines are whispering about divorce, and it's all because of one single legal document filed in Europe that has everyone asking the same thing. Is this really the end?
19 years. Let that sink in. In Hollywood time, that's basically forever. That's 2 daughters, a whole life built across different continents, and this public image of being absolutely unshakable. And that, right there, is why a single piece of paperwork is causing such an earthquake.
So, the big question is it all about to come crashing down? Has the foundation of this seemingly perfect marriage finally started to crack? To figure that out, we've really got to look at what's going on behind the scenes.
Okay, so to really get why this is such a shock, you first have to understand the powerful story they've built up for the world for nearly 20 years. It all started back in 2006 with their wedding. Then they built this beautiful family with their 2 daughters, Sunday and Faith. And through it all, they always seemed like a team, balancing these 2 massive careers. But a recent move by Nicole has brought us to today, and it's raising some serious questions about that united front.
And I mean, they weren't just seen as a strong couple, they were practically an institution. They somehow navigated the long-distance schedules, the insane pressure of fame, and built this reputation as one of Hollywood's most durable marriages.
So, where did this picture-perfect image start to get a little blurry? Well, it all started with a very specific and very public legal filing. Right. So, on August 20th, the plot thickens. Nicole Kidman officially files a solo residency application in Portugal. Now, this isn't some tabloid rumor. This is a formal legal action taken by Nicole herself.
And when you look at the details, it's pretty stark. The applicant is just Nicole Kidman. The status? A solo application. And here's the kicker. Keith Urban's name is nowhere to be found on the documents. The location is this luxury resort, which kind of suggests she's planning a new life there, not just buying some investment property.
And then, this quote drops from an insider talking to Radar Online. Talk about explosive. This one sentence completely changed the game. It turned a piece of paperwork into what sounds like a declaration of independence, framing it as her deliberately choosing a future without her husband. But, is that insider quote really the whole story? It's almost never that simple, right? So let's actually weigh the rumor against the official explanation.
Okay, so here are the 2 competing stories. On one side, you've got the rumor mill, which sees this as a huge red flag, a deliberate move signaling deep, deep trouble. But on the other side, there's a much simpler explanation. Keith's on tour in the US, and according to People magazine, he just couldn't physically be there for the mandatory in-person immigration meetings in Portugal.
I mean, on the surface, that makes total sense, doesn't it? Just a logistical nightmare for a touring musician. But even with that perfectly reasonable explanation, the whispers just haven't stopped. Because according to another insider, while they might be all smiles for the cameras, what's happening in private is a lot more complicated. And that suggests this whole scheduling conflict thing could just be a convenient excuse for much bigger problems.
This brings up an even bigger question, though. Why on earth does one residency filing get this much global attention? Well, the answer has everything to do with who Nicole Kidman is.
See, she's not just an actress. She's an Oscar-winning, global icon. Her entire life is lived under a microscope. Every single choice, from buying a house to a photo on the red carpet, gets picked apart for some hidden meaning. And in her world, one bold move is all it takes to start a firestorm of speculation. And let's be real, filing a legal document to build a future in a whole new country, publicly and without your husband of 19 years, that is a very bold move. It makes everyone ask, is this just about logistics, or is this the beginning of the end? Which brings us right back to that huge question at the heart of all this buzz. After almost 2 decades of being the golden couple, are we actually watching this iconic Hollywood love story come to a close?
So in the end, it really comes down to 2 possibilities. Is this just a simple case of complicated international paperwork and messy tour schedules? Or is this a quiet, calculated warning sign that one of Hollywood's greatest marriages is finally, truly on the brink? You can bet the whole world is watching to find out.